5, 6. Okay, so we want to learn to get these numbers. That's the first step. Or it could be A to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if I gave you an E, and I said, what's a sixth above E? What would that be, Brandy? It would be C, wouldn't it? You would just count up to C. E, F, G, A, B, C. It's the sixth note above E. So a sixth above E would be C. A sixth above B, what would that be? G, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and so that's their sixth. A seventh would be, for example, G to F. Any kind of G to any kind of F is a seventh, right? Could be G sharp to F, could be G flat to F, it could be G to F sharp. They're all sevenths because it's the letter name. Doesn't matter what accidental I use. It's always, that's the number. It's always going to be according to the letter name. So if I start on G, what's a seventh above G? F. If I start on D, what's a seventh above D? C. Another way to think of it, you know that A to A is what? It's 8. Now an octave is an interval, but we didn't tell you that at that point. We just said it was an octave, but an octave is an interval. And that's, of course, we use the number 8. So if I said A to A, that's the distance. It's an octave. Octave means 8. So instead of saying, we can say eighth, but usually we say octave. Like, for example, we don't say first, we say unison. So for 1, we say unison. For 8, we say octave. For the rest, we say the numbers second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. All right, so to get a seventh, it's kind of easy. If you know that it's 1 below, you could just take the octave and go back 1, right? So what's a seventh above F? E, right. What's a seventh above C? B. See how easy that is? And an octave, you know, is the same letter, right? So what's an octave above A? A. What's an octave above E? E. Easy. Yes?
How would you count like intervals, like going backwards, like an A to G, like an octave below that G, or would you just count it like a G to A and say it's G?
Well, it's the same. You know, this would be G to A would be a seventh below G. G is a seventh above A, but this A is a seventh below G. Does that answer your question? All right, so it's the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think I just worded my question. I don't know. You just say it's like 7.
Are you talking if it's over an octave apart?
I'm saying, take that G, bring it down an octave.
Yes, and then what?
It'd just be like a seventh below G. Like, just say below.
Okay.
Well, if I brought the G down an octave, that would be a second.
Uh-huh. That was my question.
A to G,
Is always.
that would be a second there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a second here. Because they're right next to each other, right? And then when I write that on the staff, if I'm on bass clef and I write a G and an A, that's going to be a second, right? That's the only thing it can be. This is A is a second above G, and this G is a second below A. I could say this, or if I wrote it like this, A to G, I could say this G is a seventh above A, but this A is a seventh below G. But it's always a seventh.